Okay, so you're a billionaire with a sprawling estate. You have the reinforced gates, the infrared security cameras, and the fleet of armored cars. But you want a final, impenetrable layer of security to stop intruders or kidnappers from ever reaching your front door. You want an elite protection dog. On paper, it seems like a brilliant financial decision. Hiring a former Special Forces soldier to shadow you costs hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and humans need sleep, days off, and salaries. A dog, however, seems like a one-time purchase. A loyal biological weapon that lives in your house, never asks for a raise, and works for free. But you are completely wrong. Buying a highly trained protection dog will actually cost you far more than a human bodyguard. And if you do not strictly understand the legal and financial rules of this specific game, this living weapon will systematically bankrupt your life. Just like buying a private jet or a super yacht, acquiring a personal security canine starts with a tiered price list. The absolute cheapest option is a standard German Shepherd from a local breeder. You will pay between $3,000 and $5,000. You get a large dog with a deep bark. It will alert you to a stranger in the driveway and scare away casual trespassers, but it is not a trained killer. It is merely a loud deterrent. If a professional criminal actually kicks your door in with a weapon, a $5,000 dog will likely run away or freeze in confusion. Therefore, you must enter the premium segment. Companies like Harrison K9 in South Carolina cater exclusively to executives, professional athletes, and the ultra-wealthy. Here, the average price for a fully trained European German Shepherd runs between $45,000 and $65,000. These are not shelter dogs. They are imported directly from Europe and raised in family homes to ensure they are docile around children. They are trained by women to respond to commands without relying on fear or physical intimidation, meaning the dog acts out of confidence rather than panic. It will attack an armed intruder on command, bite down, and refuse to let go until you issue the release word in German. If you want the absolute best bloodline, or a dog that is placed in international tracking and obedience competitions, the price skyrockets. The most expensive dog Harrison K9 ever sold was a female named Julia, who went to a businessman in Minnesota for $230,000. But perhaps you want something even more exclusive, a dog that practically functions as a luxury status symbol. Enter the ultra-premium tier. Svalinn, a security company based on a 170-acre ranch in Montana, breeds bespoke canine assets. They produce fewer than 20 dogs a year, crossbreeding Dutch, Belgian, and German Shepherds to create what they describe as a gentle beast. To get one, you must pay between $150,000 and $175,000. You are placing a non-refundable deposit on a puppy and waiting up to 2 years for delivery. You write the check for $175,000. The dog is hand-delivered to your estate by an expert handler. You assume the transaction is finished and your family is permanently safe. But here's the catch that the breeders rarely emphasize. You did not just buy a dog. You bought a highly perishable skill set. A fully trained Belgian Malinois is essentially a loaded gun equipped with biological artificial intelligence. If you simply put that loaded gun in your living room, feed it treats, and treat it like a standard golden retriever, the elite training rapidly degrades. A protection dog requires constant, stressful calibration. Because of this, you must pay for rigorous maintenance training. Professional handlers must visit your estate regularly. They will wear hidden bite suits, stage fake home invasions, and run attack simulations to reinforce obedience. The dog must continually be tested to recognize the subtle difference between a hostile assassin and a mailman dropping off a package. This mandatory maintenance will easily cost you between $1,000 and $5,000 a month. However, the training fees are practically loose change compared to the real financial nightmare. That nightmare is liability insurance. Standard homeowner policies typically cover dog bite claims up to a limit of $300,000. But insurance underwriters are not stupid. If they discover you are housing a fully trained protection asset, specifically breeds known for violence like a Malinois, a Cane Corso, or a Rottweiler, they will drop your coverage instantly. A dog trained to bite humans on command is legally classified as an extreme, uninsurable liability, which means you are forced to go to the secondary insurance market and purchase a massive commercial umbrella policy. Depending on your net worth, the layout of your property, and the specific breed, this specialized coverage will cost you tens of thousands of dollars every single year. You are paying exorbitant premiums to insure a weapon that decides on its own when to fire. Why is the insurance so astronomically expensive? Because when things go wrong in this industry, they go catastrophically wrong. According to the Insurance Information Institute, the average payout for a standard dog bite claim in 2024 was $69,272. In a single year, American insurers paid out a record $1,570 million for dog-related injuries, but those statistics represent normal dogs biting regular neighbors. When a highly trained protection dog makes a mistake, the injuries are horrific, and the ensuing lawsuits are completely apocalyptic. Consider the case of a retired police Belgian, Malinois, in Grover Beach, California. The dog was highly trained to apprehend fleeing suspects and use lethal force if necessary. One afternoon, it broke through a wooden fence and escaped its backyard. It attacked an 86-year-old woman walking her own dog. When a 64-year-old neighbor intervened to save her, the Malinois mauled him so severely that he died 3 days later in the hospital. The resulting civil lawsuit against the dog's owner was devastating. The jury ultimately awarded the victims and their families $20 million in damages. In another case in Illinois, a dog attack resulted in a shattered arm requiring massive skin grafts. The legal settlement reached $1,500,000, breaking state records. In Washington, a law firm secured a $3,920,000 settlement for a child severely mauled by protective breeds. This is the dark side of owning a biological weapon. A security camera can be unplugged. A human bodyguard understands the exact legal threshold for lethal force and knows the difference between a real threat and a drunken teenager stumbling onto your lawn. A dog operates purely on instinct, training, and triggers. If your $150,000 bodyguard misinterprets a sudden movement from your gardener or breaks loose and attacks a child reaching over your fence for a lost ball, the animal does not go to prison. You do. Your assets are immediately seized. Your reputation is destroyed. The victim's lawyers will look closely at your massive net worth and demand a settlement in the tens of millions of dollars. So, let us calculate the true cost of your elite protection asset. We start with the optimistic scenario. You purchase a top-tier dog from Svalinn for $175,000. Over the first year, you spend $24,000 on maintenance training so the dog does not forget its complex attack commands. You spend another $15,000 on your commercial umbrella insurance policy to legally protect your wealth. Add $5,000 for premium raw food diets, specialized gear, and elite veterinary care. Your true cost for year one is $219,000. Assuming the dog works for you for 10 years and you're incredibly lucky enough to never face a single lawsuit, the total maintenance and insurance costs will accumulate to over $400,000. Add the initial purchase price and you have spent well over $600,000 on a single animal. Now consider the pessimistic scenario. You skip the expensive maintenance training to save money. The dog becomes reactive and bored. It bites a delivery driver walking up your driveway. You're immediately hit with a $4 million settlement. Your insurance company drops you entirely and a local judge orders your expensive investment to be euthanized. Your protection asset literally destroys your peace of mind and evaporates your capital in a matter of seconds. Therefore, the ultimate irony of the elite protection dog market becomes painfully obvious. You bought the dog to avoid paying a human security guard. But a human professional is ultimately cheaper, much safer, and infinitely less risky. Because when a human bodyguard finishes their shift, they go home. A $175,000 protection dog is a 24-hour-a-day legal landmine, sleeping right in the middle of your living room.